Within the walls of the Fab Lab, students learn about compost from an unlikely source: worms. This is Bounty of Nature, an experiential learning pop-up the library hosts that is free and open to students. Composting utilizes the wriggling creatures to help break down food scraps without too much outside maintenance. If properly cared for, the worms eliminate odors and make this type of composting perfect for dorms and apartment life. Making nature accessible to students is a priority for librarian Morgan Chivers.
I think in the modern era, in our urban environment, we are disconnected from nature in ways that are both necessary and unnecessary. And this worm composting and starting kitchen scraps and things like that are really low-hanging fruit, so to speak, about ways that people can get involved with the natural cycles that are all around us, that are still the basis of our life, even if we're in an urban environment, but that we feel artificially disconnected from. And these types of experiential learning opportunities give people a real chance to get experience with that and to understand how interlinked everything is. Yeah. So there is no way. There is just resources to be used by different systems.
The library provided tools and materials students needed to build their own worm composting bins. Peat moss, wet newspapers, food scraps, and cardboard are layered into the bins to make room for the stars of the show.
There we go.
Each student received a handful of worms and dirt to start their own tiny worm home.
So I enjoy a lot of different things about composting. I like the idea that I'm not being as wasteful as I would be just throwing away my scraps. I like the idea of being able to take those scraps and turn them into something else, soil that can nurture some of my other plants, or a gift for a friend who gardens. So.
Fab Lab student employee Mia Perkins attended the worm pop-up last year when it started. She started a worm composting bin then too, but things didn't go as planned.
I plead the fifth, y'all. So my worms from last year, here's the thing, they did not make it. They didn't make it, but I have more knowledge this year and I've had a lot more help. I've got better strategies for keeping them alive, so I'm a lot more hopeful for this batch, so fingers crossed.
It smell bad, right?
Oh yeah, yes, yes, yes. Wow.
So I think there's a really innate need in humans to be connected to the natural systems around us. And when we live in suburban or urban environments, we feel disconnected from that. And I think that people somewhat intuitively understand that the more they can do to connect themselves to the natural cycles around us, the more whole psychologically and emotionally they will feel. And it just adds little joys throughout the day as you're walking along and you see some phenomenon in some landscaping, and you're able to kind of piece that together with the thing that you have learned about in a botany or environmental studies class or an experiential learning workshop in the library or whatever. You're piecing together a more complete sense of oneself and how you fit into the world.
In the end, it's all about empowering students to connect with the natural world and to find joy within it.